In 2007, a shocking discovery shook the entertainment world. Hollywood Truth magazine claimed to have found a secret notebook belonging to Burt Lancaster, one of the Golden Age's most respected stars. Inside was no memoir, no gentle reflection on a lifetime of film. Instead, it contained a chilling blacklist, the names of fellow icons he described as the most malicious people Hollywood ever produced. Why would Lancaster, a man admired for his integrity, choose to expose these secrets in his final years? And what truths were hidden behind the glamorous facades of old Hollywood's brightest stars? Tonight, we open the notebook and reveal the dark legacies of 7 legends who defined and defiled the Golden Age. Elizabeth Taylor. The Hidden Storm. Elizabeth Taylor dazzled audiences with beauty and talent, but Lancaster wrote of her as a storm behind the eyes. On the set of Cleopatra in 1962, she famously locked herself away for nearly 14 hours over a costume color dispute, halting production and costing thousands. When the director demanded she return, Taylor hurled a glass of wine at his face. But tantrums were only part of the story. Lancaster claimed Taylor mastered the art of manipulation. Her marriages weren't fairy tales, they were battlefields. With Richard Burton, she allegedly absorbed control of his career, bending producers to their will. She understood her value, and she weaponized it. To Lancaster, she wasn't just a starlet with a temper. She was Hollywood's queen of manipulation, reshaping the industry with iron will wrapped in velvet charm. Kirk Douglas. Predator in human skin. Kirk Douglas was the face of cinematic heroism, from Spartacus to countless leading roles. Yet Lancaster described him as a predator beneath the costume. His influence allegedly extended far beyond the screen. He meddled in casting decisions, pressured producers, and punished those who refused him. One chilling example was an actress removed from a major role in 1959 after rejecting Douglas's invitation to dinner. Lancaster went further, claiming Douglas weaponized drugs, buying, distributing, and using them to coerce obedience. With charm in public and intimidation in private, he allegedly ruled his circle with fear. Lancaster's phrase was damning. A predator in human skin. To audiences, Douglas symbolized defiance and freedom, but to Lancaster, he was a man who would destroy anyone daring to oppose him. Natalie Wood. Tears as a weapon. Natalie Wood embodied fragility, but Lancaster believed it was calculated. According to him, her tears were tools. On one production, she staged a fainting spell, delaying filming for hours until producers bowed to her wishes. Co-stars she disliked were quietly edged out, their careers derailed by her influence. And then there is her death, officially an accident in 1981, but surrounded by rumor. Lancaster hinted at a darker truth. The sea did not kill her. It only concealed what she left behind on the shore. He suggested her final years were spent weaving webs of control, threatening careers, and pushing friends into corners. Whether true or not, her passing became one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries, a tragic final act in a life of beauty and intrigue. Mickey Rooney, cruel behind the smile. Few actors were as beloved as Mickey Rooney, the boyish star who charmed audiences for decades. Yet Lancaster portrayed him as cruel when the cameras stopped. Rooney allegedly mocked extras and minor actors, humiliating them for amusement. His personal life was darker still. Lancaster claimed Rooney treated his wives as prisoners in their own homes. One incident in 1967 allegedly saw Rooney slap his wife on set for being late, shocking the crew into silence. Behind the cheerful mask, Lancaster wrote, was a man who fed on control and humiliation. For millions, Rooney was comedy incarnate, but for those close to him, he was a tormentor hiding in plain sight. Marilyn Monroe, a black hole in Hollywood. Marilyn Monroe, perhaps the most iconic star in history, was remembered by Lancaster as a destructive force. During Some Like It Hot, she vanished from set without warning, leaving cast and crew in limbo for hours. Lancaster wrote that Monroe weaponized her fragility. She didn't just pretend to be fragile. She turned that fragility into a weapon. Her influence extended beyond the set. Through secret affairs with powerful men, Monroe allegedly manipulated producers and studio heads. One example was her relationship with Jack Warner. When he suggested she work with another male actor, she staged an emotional crisis until the entire project shifted in her favor. To the public, Monroe was a tragic figure, undone by fame. To Lancaster, she was the black hole at the center of Hollywood, pulling everything into chaos. Errol Flynn, devil in a gentleman's suit. Errol Flynn epitomized Hollywood charm, swashbuckling across the screen as Robin Hood and countless adventurers. But Lancaster's account was far darker. He called Flynn the devil in a gentleman's suit. Behind the smile was a life of excess. Flynn's parties, according to Lancaster, were dens of drugs, violence, and predation. Allegations of trafficking and abuse followed him, yet he walked free time and again, shielded by wealth and connections. Victims stayed silent, too intimidated to resist. For fans, Flynn was gallantry incarnate. For Lancaster, he was a monster in disguise, shielded by the glamour of his roles. Lucille Ball, laughter with a razor's edge. Perhaps the most shocking entry in Lancaster's notebook was Lucille Ball. To America, she was a comedy queen, her laughter filling millions of homes, but at Desilu Studios, Lancaster described her as a ruthless ruler. She allegedly kept meticulous notes on employees' mistakes, firing anyone who slipped 3 times. Writers were called into meetings only to be mocked and humiliated in front of peers. Lancaster even claimed she installed hidden microphones to spy on staff. One chilling story told of a script thrown back at its writer's face as Ball laughed loudly, belittling his effort. "That laughter once saved CBS," Lancaster wrote, "but it also crushed the spirits of dozens under her command." Her smile, it seemed, could build empires or destroy lives. Joan Crawford, violence at home. Joan Crawford was elegance personified on screen. Statuesque, commanding, unforgettable. But Lancaster's notebook described a far darker reality at home. He referred to her as the woman who spread fear. Her daughter Christina later confirmed stories of cruel punishments, including being beaten with a coat hanger and humiliated for minor mistakes. Crawford's violence wasn't random, it was control. Lancaster claimed she used both physical abuse and manipulation to dominate her family, turning her home into a place of dread. She didn't just demand perfection in her career, she demanded it from her children, and failure brought pain. To her fans, Crawford was a glamorous Hollywood queen. To Lancaster, she was a tyrant who believed fear was more powerful than love. Burt Lancaster's notebook isn't just gossip, it's a warning. Behind the golden glow of old Hollywood were storms, predators, manipulators, and tyrants. Stars who defined an era on screen may have ruled with cruelty behind the curtain. Whether Lancaster exaggerated or not, his message is clear. The Golden Age was built not only on talent and beauty, but also on shadows, secrets, and fear. So, which of these legends shocked you the most? Was it the charming heroes turned predators, the beloved icons with iron fists, or the stars who used tears and fragility as weapons? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories from Hollywood's past. Because what you've heard tonight is only the beginning.